She's ready. Engage.
Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a video on Star Trek Infinite. We're going to be looking at some tips for this game. So this is primarily aimed at newer players to Star Trek Infinite, or even newer players to Stellaris, because a lot of these tips will be similar because it's a similar game engine, but it's primarily for Star Trek Infinite and for the newer players. So some things that you may not know. And they're also, these are in no particular order as well. They're just going to be 10 tips in whatever I can think of that are valid for new players, and no particular order of importance. So when you're surveying a system, you can press Shift to survey. So you hold down Shift, or hold down Shift to here. We're going to go survey that planet, then we're going to go survey that planet. But now I go, oh, hang on, there's an anomaly there, or there's a mission, or something's come up. I want to survey this first. Control Shift, right click, survey. So now it'll go there first, then it will go there, and survey in that order. And you can do that for, you might have 10 systems queued up, for example. Let's just survey that, or we'll survey this system, and then we'll go survey here, here, here. And then I go, oh, hang on, I just got a mission from the lesbians, and I need to go over here. And I want to, and it's on a timer. I've got a year to do it. So let's go here first. So Control Shift, and you click on the little mission or situation and go survey system or complete that mission. And then it'll go there first, and then it'll continue along afterwards and redo the survey or the route that you've commanded it to without having to redo it. So Control Shift will just prioritize what system or whatever anomaly or whatever you want to do first. It'll go do that, and then the rest of it. So you don't have to re-queue everything. It just helps save a bit of time. So with planet management, some people have been complaining, I've seen on the forums and Reddit, that they couldn't prioritize jobs. What you need to do to prioritize jobs, because you can see here I've got them prioritized. This button here, click on that, and it highlights these first boxes. And what you do is you just click and drag if you don't want that to be prioritized, and you might want to prioritize this job. You just drag that in, and now it's prioritizing civil servants. And same, I've got researchers prioritizing there. Now I want to prioritize artisans. So you can do that for whatever planets you like. So you don't have to try and manually do it and fill jobs up, and you can just do it this way. And a new planet that starts off empty, and you can go, okay, I want my rulers to be focused on research. It's going to be a research world, and let's focus on some entertainment to get my stability up, or whatever it is. You can see here I've got the technicians because this is a energy world. Okay, so that's how you prioritize your pops for whatever world you want to focus on, and make sure you hit the designation for whatever planet you want to focus on. See, this world's going to be primary energy technician output plus 25%. So farmers and mining will be minus 10%. I picked this because there's not many mines here. There's more energy districts. There's some few farms here, but I'm focusing on energy production. So, and that's the way that I want to focus on it. And I've prioritized the workers for that area, which I've just done like that. You just drag it straight into there and prioritize those jobs. So as I build more districts, which I've only got one more left, and as the population grows, as new pops fill, they will automatically go into any available jobs here. To see what jobs you have available, because it's a bit hard to see, you don't know what jobs you got available after you've built a district. It just says up here, available jobs. What you need to do is click on this button, and it will tell you in any areas what available jobs you've got. So that 3 means I have 3 clerk jobs available, and all the other jobs are currently filled. So that's just an easy way to see how many jobs that you have on that planet. Another good tip for starting the game is you can see in my capital world here, I've mostly prioritized research in my capital. And the reason for that is because your capital generally has high stability. And you can see here resources from jobs plus 27%, trade value plus 27%. So your capital, because of the high stability, has a lot more resource output, which means that my science output is significantly higher than if I put it on another world. So you can see here I'm getting a base production of 17. And if I click on this, I'll go to jobs, I'll click on my researchers, and you can see here each one's producing, it says here 8.7. If you actually click on it, the pop, it brings it down here and shows you how it's doing it. Very high stability, 27%. And you can see there's some other bonuses there for research as well. So you can see there having high stability has a big impact on the amount of resources you do. So having your capital as the main focus of whatever you're focusing on for your empire, it may be you might want to be a tech empire early on, in which case doing something like what I've done here is very beneficial because you're going to get the most basically bang for your buck. Or if you're planning on doing early war, early conquest, if you're playing as the Klingons, the Romulans, Cardassians, you might want to build more industrial districts to get more alloys. And doing it on your capital world, because of the high stability, gives you more of those resources compared to, say, some of your other worlds, which this one's only got 73% stability, and that's even with a holographic environment simulator. So I'd need some more stability on this planet to get my amenities up higher and get happiness up. And it's also only 80% habitability, which also contributes to your pop happiness. So you can see here, pop growth speed is got minus 10%, pop amenities usage plus 20%, upkeep plus 20%. So the higher or lower your habitability, the higher the cost it is for each pop to maintain, and each pop produces less resources as well. Now, when looking at your planets, if you hover over the actual number, the size of the planet, or the planet symbol here, you can see it shows planet size and the planet capacity. Now, planet capacity dictates the population growth. And to increase planet capacity, you need to have your housing, you have available housing here so that your population has somewhere to live. And if you've got more housing available, it means your population is more inclined to grow faster because they've got somewhere to live. And if you see here, it'll say it depends on housing. Clearing blockers can also help because then you've got more districts available. But you can see this planet's got a lot of districts available. So having 86 planet capacity is reasonably good. And if we go to population growth, we can see here the actual growth rate. So growth rate's 4.15 at the moment, which is not the best, but we're losing some to immigration because we've got other smaller planets. Now, the higher your planet capacity, it'll impact your planetary growth. Then we've got Vulcan. Let's have a look. Vulcan, the planetary capacity, 72. So 72 is pretty good. Teller Prime, 84. That's also pretty good. Let's go to a newer world. Now look at that one. That's 117, and that's mainly because of the huge size of this world. It's a size 31 planet. And you can see the huge amount of districts I've got available. And that will even increase if I clear some of these blockers. So I'm losing 2 districts there from planetary features, and one's a blocker there. So I can probably get up to size 32 without using any other tech. So that's a massive planet. So keep that in mind when you're looking for planets to colonize. Even though it's only 55% stability, and I believe that's because of the habitability, which is 50%. So the habitability means that jobs in each pop is more expensive, but I'm still getting population growth, right? So a little trick you can do in games like this or Stellaris. Let's say you find a world like this one, 30% habitability. You may have no other planets to colonize in your area, and you've only got, say, some low habitability worlds. You can colonize this world, and what you do, go to your jobs. You can close off any open jobs, just close them off to decrease the slots. Just go like close them off until you've only got like one slot available, which will be your probably a councillor or civil servant job, whatever you start with on that planet. It's new to colonize, only one pop, so just close any other job. You probably don't have any other jobs, maybe one other job open. So when the pop grows on that 30% habitability, just transfer that pop to one of your high habitability world, like Earth or your capital world, where it's high stability. So that makes that pop, instead of having instead of having penalties for the population, because this one's 100% habitability, so instead of having, say, where's my size 31 world? There it is. Instead of having here, pop upkeep plus 50% and resources from jobs minus 25% pop growth. I can't do much about the pop growth, but I can transfer, say, a couple of these pops if I wanted to Earth, and let's really build more research labs. Let's really get that going, create some more districts, and pump up the population here, because that would save me. I'm getting no negative benefits on this planet at all. So I would save 50% pop upkeep costs, 50% amenities usage, and it'll produce 25% more resources just to get to the base level, right? Get back to 0, right? Then on top of that, add 27% from my stability that I get. So that's 52% increase in resources. I get the 25% from getting back to 0 from the resource jobs minus 25%. And because it's got high happiness, high stability, I'm getting a bonus of 27%. So 52% increase. So you can see here in this game, I could easily micromanage my population so much better. I could just build a couple more districts here if I've got the available minerals, which I have. So, and then I can transfer the pops off this world, Olympus, to that. So that's what you can do to really micromanage your planet and planet management. My thinking in this game is I'm just going to develop this world and let this population grow and develop these industrial districts. But if you were doing a PvP game, you would really micromanage that and try and get your pops off your low habitability worlds onto your higher habitability worlds. Even 80% is really good. And you would really build up these, if you had a federation, build up these 4 key worlds, transfer pops off your other lower habitability worlds. Like this one's really good, 100% habitability. That's Beta Z. So that was a integration. So it's another good planet to have. You can see it's like another capital world. I'm not getting any penalties there. So Beta Z and Earth are the 2 best planets to build up in the early part of the game. So that's just some little tips to look for with planet management that you may not be aware of. And to make the most advantage of trying to make your empire efficient, what I try to do is I try to have a forge world, and you look for a planet that's got a decent amount of districts, and you just focus on building industrial districts here, because each one of them will add the resources here, adds 3 deuterium, 4 food, 4 alloys, some amenities, and some trade. So it does really produce quite a lot, the industrial districts. So if you build up this industrial world, it's going to add a lot. I'm not sure why an industrial district adds food, but I guess that's replicators or something like that, I guess. And I guess it represents a whole range of manufacturing facilities, where in Stellaris it's just alloy production for your basically to build your ships and build whatever you need to do. So I would say turn this into a forge world like this, because that means metallurgical output plus 25%. So instead of producing, where's my metallurgists? Here we go. They're producing 3.2 at the moment. And we can see that there, 3.2. So they're losing minus 10% due to habitability. So we could change that planetary designation to a forge world. Boom. I might have to run a day or two. We'll see. No, it's gone up to 4 already. So it's instant. So instantly I've improved my industrial output with 4 alloys. Okay. So a good strategy for the early game for people that are maybe struggling with how to, you're playing in the early game, you're exploring, but how do you transition into building up your economy? And I'll just explain that a little bit now. Okay, so we've got Earth here. So this is what I would do. Obviously, I'm going to do it quite quickly, but this is what I would do over a number of years. You want to clear all these city blocks so you can build more buildings here. So let's just clear them. Just put the game on. There we go. So clear all those. Now let's build. We're going to focus on research in this planet. So we're going to build just research. Okay, so that's going to focus on research. I've got jobs. So let's prioritize my researchers. So your capital would look something like this after a number of years, might be after 10 years or 15 years. So you're producing lots of research, 214 at the moment. And that really boosts up from the one planet. And then you might set this, now your forge world might look something like this after about 15 years or so. So you're focusing on building up industrial districts. you build a forge on here because that increases your metallurgist jobs on that planet by another 2, and then you can upgrade it. And let's just upgrade it. There we go. Now we've got upgraded. So we've got metallurgist jobs +2. Increases base production of alloys producing jobs by 1 with a corresponding increase in upkeep. So you can see there, job-based production is now 11 alloys and job-based upkeep is 16 minerals. Now, if you remember before, my base production was about 4 alloys per pop. So let's have a look. What is it now? We're 10 metallurgists at the moment. So now it's gone up to 5.1 at the moment. And they're all producing about 5.1. So we've gone up 1.1 alloys per population by building the forge. And the reason is that's because each job produces 5.1 and it's 2 jobs per metallurgist. So that's about 10.2 at the moment. And the reason it's only 10.2 out of 11 is because of the habitability and the stability. So if we get the stability up, which I've already got a holographic environment simulator, it will increase your output. You can see here I'm getting -7.5% from stability. Let's have a look. Is there anything I can do to increase my amenities really? Probably not, because I don't have that much technology at the moment. I could build another one of them if I wanted to. Our amenities is -6. So you've got cultural workers, that produces trade value. Artisans produce amenities. So we do have, let's have a look at our jobs. Move that there. So it specializes the entertainers rather than the artisans. We've got 1 artisan there, we've got 7 more available. Now let's have a look how our amenities increase. There we go, our amenities increase to 9. Our stability's gone way down. Probably because we took all the jobs out of the artisans. You can see now the job-based production's gone down to 10. And that's because my stability's gone down, because I just built an industrial district. I don't have enough pops. You've got no more pops to upgrade to fill in for these artisans and entertainers. So that's because it reduces your amenities. So I need more artisans to boost up my stability on this planet. But you can see now it's gone down to 4.6. They were producing 5.1, and that's because of stability. So that's how the happiness affects it, right? But this is what you'd want to do. You want to build up in the early years. You don't want to be spending lots of minerals on developing all your space resources, not unless you have something good, like maybe you got 4 science there. Maybe you got four or more resources of any one type. If you need to build it, like say, I think you normally start with, I think 5 science. Yeah, there's 5 science there on Andor and 1 resource, and I normally build that because that's 5. That's pretty good. If it's 4 or less, I tend to leave it. And unless it's a resource I need, I'm like really low on, say, minerals or energy, then I'll look for any resource which is 4 or above, and then I'll build that to spend 100 minerals. 100 minerals is a fair bit in the early game. You want to prioritize building up your capital first because of the high planetary stability and habitability. It's gone down a little bit here because I just built all these jobs without increasing my amenities and happiness, so that's why that happens. Second, you want to pick a world which is going to be your forge world, so that you can increase your industrial production, which will increase your alloys and also increase, because each one produces artisan, so it also increase your deuterium production and your food production. So you want to keep, and also trade. So you want to designate one world which has a significant amount of industrial districts. 16 is pretty good, and turn that into a forge world. And you want to get that going as soon as you can. You only spend minerals pretty much on your capital and your industrial world to start with. On your other worlds, if you have 3 or 4 planets, which I think everyone starts with 4 planets, spend resources on them when you don't need to spend resources on these 2. If you've got lots of jobs available and you don't need to build anything for a while on your capital and your industrial world, then develop a 3rd world, say an energy world, or it might be another research world if your capital is your industrial world, for example. Don't go spending all minerals on every little planet. Try and focus on just developing 2 to 3 worlds. 2 worlds particularly, and then a 3rd world only if you have the resources to develop it. Focus your minerals on developing the planets, because you get a lot more resources from jobs than you do from space resources. mostly, because you can see here how much resources you get from your industrial jobs, and you can see I get job-based production from just 2 pops is 26 energy. So, and that will cost me 300 minerals from 1 district for 2 jobs. So where here, if I spent 300 minerals developing 3 mines, can I get 26 energy? Can you see it anywhere on the map? I can't. I don't think there's anything which, that's why it's so more efficient to spend your minerals on your planets. Don't waste it all on your space resources unless absolutely necessary. Then as you're building up your industrial world, it's building up your deuterium, which is what you need to support your ships. It's building up your alloy production, which you need to build the ships with, and also starports or space stations. So you want to be building up your space stations, because each space station you build will be able to gather trade. And you can click on this button down here, and you've got a trade network. And each space station you build will automatically set up a trade route back to your capital. And you can see here there's 48 trade, 40 trade, 12. There's only 4 there because it's a new planet, because they built a space station there. But that all is converting into other resources depending on what your settings are. And you can see here I'm getting 128 energy from trade. Let's see if I'm getting anything else from trade at the moment. Policies, trade policy, green fuel sources. So what are we getting here? We're getting trade value earns us 0.75 energy. And depending what you want to do, if you want to, say you want to convert trade to minerals, say you don't need energy, you've got heaps of energy, you can make it minerals, change it into food, neutronium. You can change it into a bit of energy and research. Replicators, you can change it to energy and alloys, or energy and unity. And that's probably a pretty good one, actually. Cooperative economics, that's a good balance if you want to really rush your unity early. So this just gives you energy because it's hard to balance in the early game. But as you get going, think about changing into whatever suits your build type the best. Don't neglect your policies. Don't be afraid to change them. Just remember you can change them every 10 years. Now you have your mixed economy too. So if you're building up for war, you might want to produce more alloys. It will drop your other resources down a bit, but it'll produce more alloys so you can get your fleet building. Or if you're just playing a bit of a tech build, sitting back, you don't want to go to war, then you might want to increase all your other resources and not have as many alloys. This affects your leader costs, how many leaders you can get as well, leader lifespan, but it does make your leaders a lot more expensive. So remember to keep an eye on your policies. You do get more as you get technologies and stuff as the game progresses. And keep an eye on your edicts as well. You can see here I can run a 3rd edict at the moment, and I couldn't really decide which one I wanted to run. So keep an eye on your edicts, because edicts are very powerful depending on what your plan is, what your circumstances are. So I could probably run this one. If you want to do the whole StarBase expansion and upgrades and that, then this is a really good one to have as well. So keep an eye on your edicts. Edicts are very powerful. Now, as your game develops a bit, don't neglect the governors. Your first governor, you're best off setting him as developing your home world. So mine's currently level 5. And all you do is you right click on a planet, or right click on the name, and you get a bunch of options to pick up. Now, in the early game, you can say, okay, I want to develop the workers. It increases production by 3% and 2% per level. Mine's a level 5, so that's another 10%. So that's 13% overall boost that I will be getting to worker production. Or you can do specialist production, which will be things like researchers. And as this is a research planet, I'd be best off doing that. That gives me 4%, 1% per level. So that's a total of 9%. So let's do that. And let's see how that impacts my job production for specialists, for researchers. Let's see how much that impacts what I'm doing. You can see there, specialist initiative, plus 9%. That's how much I'm getting from a governor boost. Okay, so you can hire more governors to develop other planets. If you've got other sort of larger worlds that you want to spend the resources on to get another governor, when you hire a governor, you can see I've got 2 ships. When you hire a governor, and I can get another one here, they're quite expensive. They cost influence as well as energy and alloys. So make sure you pick a good one that gives you a bonus. That one's probably not very good. Leader cap -2. Emergency package mission effects plus 25%. Local stability mission effect plus 25%. Let's recruit that one. And when you recruit them, you automatically get a governorship. So now I can send that new governor to another planet, and I can go, right, I want you to go and boost production here for whatever it is I'm doing. Where's my Forge world? Teleprime. How about we go Teleprime? I think that's over here. And go improve specialist production, because I want to increase my metallurgist output. And that will boost it by 3% and then 2% per level, which is only one level. So it's only going to be 5% initially, but that'll grow over time. And as you build this world up and you're producing more and more alloys, you might get this up to 100 alloys. So boosting it by 13% gives you another 13 alloys. So over time, it can build up quite a lot once you develop all of this. So it's just basically getting free alloys, really. Once you get your governors up and running and leveled up and these planets grow, it can become quite a powerful tool to get more resources, more science, and whatever you need. And there's also, you get missions for governors that you'll need to use them for as well. So it's handy to have governors. So just remember that you do get the free governorship. Same with spies. When you recruit a spy, we'll just recruit, we'll just recruit that one. When you get recruit a spy, you also get a spy ship. Okay, so you can then go and do missions. You can set it, say, at Cardassia. Well, I can't see Cardassia at the moment. Where's the Klingons? Can I see their worlds? Yes, I can. So I can right-click on a world, and you can pick a mission. Let's steal blueprints. Okay, but if you steal blueprints, once it gets there, you'll see a situation come up, and it will cost you, there'll be 3 options. You can do like a low level, which will cost you 5 energy, medium, which is 10, or fast, which is 20. So just be mindful, the spy missions do cost you energy upkeep to do. So be mindful of that. So those ships you can set for missions and do various things. Now here you have decisions on planets where you've got a number of options that can help you with different situations. If you've got amenities issues, you can declare a festival. If you can spend the energy, and this will last for 10 years, 25% amenities in the immigration pool, 25%. So if you've got a large energy pool like this, well, that's a lot. You can easily activate this across quite a few worlds to increase your amenities. So let's have a look at a low amenity world, 33% here. Let's go. All right, I need to boost my amenities. Okay, it appears you can only do it when it's above 70%. So you can, and the larger your world, the more pops, the more energy it costs. So let's increase this, and let's see how that affects my amenities and stability. So you can see that went up to 23 amenities and 85% stability. So now I'm getting a nice boost to my resources and trade value, and that will be for the next 10 years. So that's very effective if you've got a bunch of energy to use. It's another little tip you can do just to micromanage and boost your production and resources up. There's other, you'll get more decisions as the game goes on. So this is an area you can keep an eye on for things that you can spend money on to help boost your empire. See, this one is a research bonus. You get more researching production and security officers. And well, we've done declare festival, exhibit wonders, amenities plus 30%, immigration 10%. But this one costs 500 energy. Let's see how that one goes. Now it's gone up to 36 amenities. My stability didn't go up that much because I'm already getting up quite high amenities. So it's like a diminishing returns. So I'd rather spend the money on another world than boost this up more. And you can see here that it will also increase your population growth because it increases your immigration pool. So it'll help boost your population growth. And the higher your stability, the higher your population growth as well. Because happy people make more babies, apparently. Another good thing to use is your planet management. This gives you a breakdown of all your planets, which you can see here. It shows you the buildings they've got, the number of districts they've got available. It shows all their stats at a glance about what's going on, the habitabilities, everything, the amenities. It's quite a good little screen to look at. It shows you their resource production, their current trade value, shows you what they're focused on at the moment. If there's any focus like that, say energy world, and you can change it from here as well. You can change all your worlds here. The ones with a symbol, with the capital symbol, normally mean it's a home world of some type, a capital world. Now Olympus is a newly colonized world, so I'm not sure whether that's a home world. Maybe there's an ancient empire was there, some type of home world. You can also use the automation if you've got lots of planets and you don't want to manage all these planets. So you can set a designation. Let's set this as a I don't know, energy world, and then let's turn automation on. So now the AI will take care of a lot of the building for this planet, and it would generally follow the designation you've put. It'll try and boost up your energy, but it will build other buildings as required. So you can go through and do that for a number of worlds, turning on automation if you don't want to have to manage a bunch of planets. You know, you might pick a few core worlds, or half a dozen core worlds you want to manage. The rest you can flick onto automation, so you don't need to manage it. So just remember that as the game gets longer and bigger and you don't want to manage lots of planets, feel free to do that. You can also set this if you want to see, what's going on, with different types of worlds, like my Forge world. So let's bring my Forge worlds up, or let's see what's happening to energy worlds, or you can bring it up by stability. I want to deal with the planets that have the lower stability first, so let's deal with them. And then you can see it goes from low to high stability. So you can deal with these things. That's a good little thing to look at. Get used to looking at this screen at a glance, because it'll help you prioritize which planets you need to work on, which ones might be an issue. You can see that the stability, I want to focus on these 3 worlds and get their stability up. But don't neglect your star bases, because they do help with trade. Plus you want to be able to build shipyards, and you can access the shipyard. You easily just click on the button here from the main map, brings up your shipyard, your starbase, and you can build shipyards, you can build new modules, you can upgrade it from here if you've got the tech, and change buildings. You can build your fleets from here if you want to. So remember to build your shipyards, because in time you can add other buildings to here which will help increase production. I think I had one out here, the Class F world, Class F star. I was able to build a neutron gathering station which gave me 10 minerals for the cost of 2 energy, so that's really good. So it's another little thing you can do. You can build resource buildings on there. You might get different resource buildings for depending on the tech, so on different types of stars or nebulas and things. So keep an eye on that. You can build special resource buildings, and you want a number of star bases to increase your ship production, because each star base, the shipyard standard is 2 shipyards if you've got 1 shipyard here. So just keep that in mind. So if you're ever at war, you want to build, say, 10 ships, you're going to need multiple shipyards to build those fleets. And it is a good idea to use your fleet manager to build fleets. So you can create a new fleet, add a new class of ship, and go, I want to build all these ships. Okay, I can build 6, and then hit reinforce fleet, and that will build all those ships at the various shipyards. And you click on the ship and you can see there it's building all the Intrepids at my main space dock 1. So it'll just go through and build all those, and it'll automatically assign them to the fleet. So even if you move the fleet away, these ships will automatically rally to that fleet once built. So, which makes it easier to reinforce your fleet if you're busy trying to fight battles and you're just moving your fleet here, there, and you're clicking reinforce fleet, and those ships will automatically rally to wherever this fleet is once built. So it just makes that easy to manage. Okay, I think that's quite a few tips for this first video to go through. I will be going through in more depth videos where I will show more planetary features and how to build up an empire, and I'll be doing longer videos on how to actually make your planets and build your planets up, but that'll come in a little bit of time. These are the first good tips for a lot of people, just to get you going and to help provide you have a little bit of boost in that early game, so that you can start to snowball and keep up the AI or overtake them, or up your difficulty levels and get a bit more of a challenge and play at a harder level. So if this video gave you some good tips, hit the like button for me and give me some comments. If you need some help with something else, let me know. I'll be doing some other videos shortly. So hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now. See you next time. Thanks for watching.